Kazakhstan is the country of global reserves and massive opportunities. Kazakhstan entrails its depository of extractable resources. On stocks of some of them, the country takes leading positions in the world. There are 99 Mendeleev stable elements of 110 subsisting in unfailing forge of natural resources of Kazakhstan. The country takes the first place on stocks of tungsten and chromamide in the world, the first place on uranium extraction, the fourth place on stocks of lead and molybdenum, the seventh place of stocks of goethite, the 11th place of stocks of petrol. Kazakhstan is the country with flexible economic steady rising at all factors. Representing a wide complex of preferences and support tools for investors, the country creates optimal facilities for business dealing and commit investments in the region. Kazakhstan is a country with a deep potential for foreign investors, taking the leading place in the world ratings of investment attractiveness. In 2004, in the rating of competitive ability of the global economics of the Doing Business World Bank, the Kazakhstan has took 50 place of 189 raised in 22 positions up. Herewith, Kazakhstan is ahead such world powers as Bulgaria, Italy, Turkey and Russia. It is testified that from year to year, doing business in Kazakhstan becomes more profitable. East Kazakhstan Oblast is one of 14 of Kazakhstan regions with massive potential. Wide abilities for international cooperation is represent Oblast location. In the north border on Russia, in the east on China. There are half of Republican stocks of the brass and zinc. East Kazakhstan strikes not only by the volumes but variety of extractable resources. There are many abilities for developing different industries. Leading industry is non-ferrous metallurgy. For 2013, the volume of industrial construction reached the record index trillion tenge or more than 5 milliards of USA dollars. There is massive raw materials base for food industry developing in the East region. Traditional for cultivation are crops, sunflower, goods, and potato. The principle of animal breeding is breeding of cattle and sheep production. Over the last years, it is presenting increase of breeding stock of cattle to what place special emphasis in state programs of stock-raising country complex development. The oblast is different for well-developed infrastructure, presence of ramified system of auto and railways, line air travel. Oblast is presents ample opportunities for tourism development. Cluster East Kazakhstan moved as one of the top priority in development concept of tourist oblast of Republic of Kazakhstan before 2020. The oblast takes the leading positions in realization of investment project and cold capital. There is developed line of state programs of business support in the country and one of the leading place in realization of which takes East Kazakhstan. Over the 3 last years, there are started 61 large investment projects, 267 small and medium investment projects under the map of Kazakhstan industrialization. There are many investment projects in the Bank of Oblast, realization of which is successfully started due to state programs of enterprise development. There has been built factory on utilization and recycling of chafed tires. Use spectrum is wide enough, from production of asphaltic cement to safety grounds chemise. The initiator of the project is LP Igeru. In spite of satisfaction of local market at current type of production, the initiator is planning organized supplies of production for export to Russia, China and Europe. There is carry out reconstruction of healthcare products factory on the base of LP PC Roma. Healthcare products factory of Simei is specialized on the turnout of infusion solutions, galenic, nasal, enzymatic drugs, hematogen, and ointments. Also, the factory makes such unique biopharmaceuticals as peptone for bacteriological tests, enzymatic drug memes using in cheese industry. In the Malay Aktiupa village is realized project on outreach and modernization of marketable eggs. Initiator is planning reconstruct of in-service poultry farm. At the moment, installed new equipment to complex of communications. By the Almagrad company realizing project of outreach and modernization of in-service factory of light steel constructions in Ust-Kaminogorsk. The project will allow fix up with modern and qualitative raw material the construction industry of Kazakhstan. Light steel constructions are allowed cheap surcharge on concrete and applies for production of support and enclosing constructions. Ust-Kaminogorsk Factory of Production Equipment performs investment project on expansion of production. According to the project, planning production of electrofilters, scrubbers, cyclones and other production actual in metallurgy enterprise, cement industry and other industries where is necessary air cleaning of smokes and gases. At the present time, there is received construction documentation from Finnish company from 5-dimension types of electrofilters. At the finishing stage, the construction of machine engineering plant. There were bought 27 tools, 4 inline systems. Produced production realizes in all Kazakhstan. At an early date, planning Russia and non-sea states. There are a number of started investment projects in East Kazakhstan, for finishing of which required additional financing. There is an implementation of the investment project, the initiator of which is LP Milada, on shore of Bukhtarma water storage research in Zyryansk region. Here, creation of a high-class tourist complex is planned. Currently built and function 6 cottages, restaurants and baths. Construction of hotel complex is conducted and expansion of quantity of guest homes is planned. However, for construction finishing the project need additional financing. In the August 2013, by the company Shegas-Yegodos in the region of Bukhtarma station of Zyryansk region was bought a ground for construction of model comfortable touristic complex, which will include hotel complex, motel, 3 cottages, 3 national nomad stands, restaurants for 300 seats, health-related complex. At the time, there is conduct modernization of mountain skiing complex Eagle in 5 kilometers from Zyryansk city. There is conducts competitions of regional and republican meaning. Mountain skiing route with length 2.5 kilometers fitted with ropeway is raised not single champion. In the plans of its owner the change over on year-round function would demand additional investments. Also, there is fascinating project Irtysh Harbor on building line of touristic objects for organization of incredible 10 days trip to amenities of Katon-Karagayski, Zyryanovsk and Urido regions. By the initiator of the project LP Bolashaka Sapar planned the building new bases directly in itineraries jeep at the places horse walks and other. At the time, there is started construction of central base, raised 2 cottages on the island small Dyravatka of Bukhtarma water storages. There is carried out a project on production of lump quick lime. By the initiator of the project LP Tianshi, opened limestone minefield, built 2 furnaces, section on production of mineral flour and ground limestone. This production will allow fix up with raw material the branches of non-ferrous and ferrous metallurgy and building. Additional financing is needed. In picturesque places of Bukhtarma water storage, on Goose Island planning construction of touristic complex. The initiator of a project is LP Samruk, planning creation of 5 itineraries associated in cluster Bayterek. Lands and buildings for reconstruction are retired. There is planning the construction of hothouse complex with hydroponic system of fruit and vegetable products cultivation. The initiator of a project is LP Vostok Metal Trans, planning fully cover the requirements of Zyryansk domestic markets and Ust-Kaminogorsk city. There is planning the construction of meat processing complex on production of refrigerated packed meat products, sausage products, byproducts in Gerasimovka village of Ulan region. The initiator of a project is planning cover the requirements of domestic market with these products and export deliveries to Russia and non-sea states. There is planning the construction of feed yard for 1,000 cattle animals. bought 6 hectares of the land, planted 250 hectares of the land under the food reserve, bought into acquisition cowshed building to infrastructure. There is carrying out the project on modernization and expansion of production of scoured wool. The initiator of the project is LP Dairy Car Ertes, planning organized export the products to China, Russia and Kazakhstan. For precipitation of export deliveries to regions will promote the construction of railroad track Zыряновsk-Maykapchagay. By the state bodies will leave land parcel and take all essential communications to carry out given investment project. In the field of health service is planning the construction of polyclinic in Uсть-Каменогорск. Expenditures for carrying out of this project will be compensated during the 10 years. LP Altai Geological Institute in partnership with LP Erlitos are planning to carry out a project on construction of factory of pharmaceutical foams and bioactive additives in Uсть-Каменогорск. There is planning release of medical products, Taganso band and bioactive additives for food. There is prepared pre-project documentation, acquired right for subsurface occurrence use. LP East Kazakhstan Center of Panto Treatment is planning construction of health touristic complex Katon-Karagay. For another things, there is planning development of ecotourism. The mountain Beluga, lakes Maraldekol and Karakol will allow tourists to see beauty of Kazakhstan nature on the whole. Also, there is planning organized hunting tours. The project Development of Tourism on Altai is designed to align airline service in the region for tourist attraction in East Kazakhstan touristic cluster. The initiator of a project is Kazakh Air Tour, planning the construction of industrial base at Ulkianaren Airport, main base at Katon-Karagay Airport and mid base in Zыряновsk. Another powerful project in the tourism sphere is construction of touristic base for 100 tourists apically River Tursugun. Initiator of a project is a tour operator Valentina, planning the organization of waft the river and construction of road to the camp. In the field of construction materials production is planned 2 projects: reconstruction of sawmilling section for distribution of production line of OSB slabs and construction of factory on production of cement slab. Specific interest has innovative projects on East Kazakhstan. There are production of biogenized water with confirmed high general health properties. High technologies application of girasol cultivation for following processing and receiving insulin, pectin, glucose, syrups and pelleted feeds. In the field of high technologies, allocate the construction project of industrial base on erecting work with aerial vehicles of small aircraft for realization in Republic of Kazakhstan and abroad. Also, there is planning construction of wind farm in the province. At the moment, all the above listed projects have a coherent idea of future business, high degree of readiness to project kick-off. Every project is unique and promise big financial gains to investors. Invest in East Kazakhstan. Head for profitable enclosures.